Hi there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 2833 of What You Up To Now. It's a place where I document my journey over the past several years. Not going to say how many, it's been a lot. I show up and I talk about what's working, what's not working. Originally, as I moved from the brick and mortar corporate world of businesses, worked in corporate America and ran businesses on the side for decades. And then following my divorce, decided, okay, what am I going to do now? I'm old enough to retire, but I'm not really done yet. So I decided I would learn about the online world, the internet, and all the things I've been curious in the background about, but never really had the time or energy to dip my feet into because I was too busy doing other things. But, divorce has caused a lot of changes in our life, and so it was the perfect time to do that. I've done a lot of things online, some that worked out really, really well, some that were epic flops and failures. Now, all of these things work for somebody, right? They work for other people, which is why I thought they would work for me too. But I found that if they're not really a fit for me, and if they're not in alignment with how and who I am, they're not going to work for me, no matter how much I try, unless I change my thoughts, beliefs, identity, etc. And some things I'll do that for, other things I won't. If it feels icky and doesn't match my core beliefs, it's an automatic no, right? If it feels salesy or slimy or unethical or wrong or tricky in any way, shape, or form, it's a no for me. Now, all of those things work for a lot of other people, right? And they make millions and millions and millions of dollars on it, and they seem to sleep fine at night. That's for them, good for them, not for me. So today we're doing a roundup for each of the 9 life framework areas. And today we did spirituality. So physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence. And I've told the story of why I have 9 areas instead of just the traditional 7. So I'm not going to repeat that, but we're looking at spirituality today. And so spirituality is a very subjective thing, right? It is defined and determined by the person. Our beliefs and our thoughts and feelings and I guess actions with respect to spirituality are different, and it's totally up to us what we do or do not want to do. I define spirituality, and you can define it any way you want, as a connection to a higher power. Maybe that higher power is God for you. Maybe it's Allah. Maybe it's universal energy. Maybe it's the universe. Whatever it is for you, that's for you to define. And then you set up your life in a way that supports that. So the roundup is about looking at and asking ourselves 4 questions at the end of the year. One is wins. We want to capture the wins that we had in the area of spirituality. And I had several. Then we want to capture the lessons learned. What happened this year and I was reminded of one this morning that's been just kind of rolling around in my head and my stomach today. And I'll work through that. What's our biggest challenge in the area of spirituality? We want to make sure that we still have, and we're still impacting us right now. And I realized one of mine is thinking in loops around things that I actually have no control over, and I should forgive myself for, because I should have forgiven myself. There's that should word, for a long, long time ago. And I thought I had, but it keeps popping up again. Why? Because something triggers it and it bubbles up for us to address again and say, no, that's not me. Yeah. Was I always perfect spiritually? Heck no, none of us are. But am I continually improving it and becoming a better version of me every day? Yes, that's what this year's annual challenge is all about. So the 4th thing we look at then is, what are 3 things in this area of the life framework, spirituality today, that I'm going to carry with me into next year? Because I want to take the good things and keep doing them. And I want to let go of the things that didn't work or didn't serve me, and then just forgive myself for that, or thank myself, even better, thank myself for having tried and done certain things and realizing, okay, yeah, that's not right for me. What's next? And doing the next thing. Christmas this week, so it's a really crazy busy week. But if I can help you in any way, ask. We're going to continue finishing up on these roundups, and then we're going to switch gears into the ideas process. And I realized that I covered the same topic. Painful confession here, not super painful, but a little painful, 2 days in a row. I did relationship roundup 2 days in a row because I had written it down incorrectly in my book. So now I thought I had an extra day this month, but I don't. So I may have to double up one of the ideas process days, because I want to make sure that we get through our ideas process one more time before the end of the year. Why? Because then we've got a process that each of us has learned and practiced 12 times by the end of the challenge. And that means it's installed in our subconscious. We might not use it for 5 years, but when a situation arises that we need it and it can help us to create what we want, we'll have that in our subconscious and be able to pull it up and use it to create the best possible result for us. So, any questions? Hit me up and ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, see you tomorrow.